This week in comic books and Marvel, Doom is taking over everything. Just everything out there. He's all over the place. But is it too much? We'll talk about that. In DC, Zatanna's got a new relaunch. That's about all for that. And then Independence, G.I. Joe. The action's about to kick off. You need to get on board with that. I'm going to tell you why. That and a few other comic books, but you can see that it's snowing outside here, which means it's cold, which means you probably want something warm to drink. Drink some of my warm drink. Check this out. Zatanna, #1. So we're relaunching this comic book. I went with this pretty cool looking cover right here. I thought it was kind of neat. Little aesthetic to it. Thought that was pretty cool. I think it's Peach Momoko. I may be wrong. Let me know. But basically, we're just relaunching this, but it's the same story that we've seen a couple of times now. She's a magician, right? That's always been a staple with her. But now she's in like San Francisco on the road doing road trips type of thing. She's got a crew of people that work with her. They're all younger, generational difference, whatever. And she seems to be having a problem with yet another woman. This particular character is called the White Lady or Lady White or whatever the case may be, who is a specter or ghost, if you will. And she has like this long-running history in like San Francisco's like movie scene, music. Like she was anything and everything back in the day. And apparently she's got a problem. They don't tell us what the problem is. We have no in-depth. It's just a launch, right, to kind of kick us off. But for the most part, I'm not really seeing anything in this that just made me want to read more of it. I feel like they would do better if they incorporated some older characters into this just to kind of push the story along. Like a Gentleman Ghost was in it. That would have been something, right? That would have made sense. But they're not doing that. And she gets backstabbed, literally, by one of her crew members. That's it. That's all that happened in this book. It's not very engaging. The New Gods, issue #3. So yeah, this is a weird story. Again, you can get a little lost in this. And the reason why you can get lost in it is because it's heavily reliant on you understanding how the New Gods work, right? And in this one, they kind of veered off from the original storyline to give us a tale of some older gods that kind of happened. And why this particular kid in India is all of a sudden getting these godlike powers, how they found him in the jungle. Well, it's this older god who was a blacksmith, tinkerer, maker. Really cool. And how this incumbent of evil is about to start coming. Also, Apocalypse is totally ruled by a warlord now. And they're going to move on to New Genesis. Again, very reliant on that kind of whole lore of the New Gods. So you could get a little lost in it. It's not the best review ever, but if you're a New Gods fan and you understand the lore behind it, this is probably right up your alley and you enjoy it. I don't know why this is happening. That is so weird. It's delight, I think. I don't know. But all in all, it's a good story. But again, it just got a prerequisite to it before you dive too deep into this storyline. Next, Everything's Doom. Everything's Doom in Marvel. It's ridiculous. So, Doom Academy. So you remember Strange Academy? I was a big fan of that. Scotty Young did a great job writing it, team and everything. Well, now that Doom has taken over everything, the entire world, and everything is Doom, he's launched his own academy. The Strange Academy is no longer... Now that he's the Sorcerer Supreme, it's now the Doom Academy. So we get, and apparently it's been around for a while. They never retconned that in any way that I know of, but apparently the school's been around, right? It's been hidden, of course. So now we have our Strange Academy kids. Doom, they're kind of mixing it up and meeting each other. We meet Scoop, whose father's been in comic books before. I did not look it up. I apologize, but it doesn't really matter. They're kind of taking on this kind of school newspaper type of thing. It's very, very young adult, kiddish type storytelling, but it is fun. It is still whimsical, even though it's Doom Academy. And the kids are starting to realize that, hey, this school's really structured, and we kind of like it. And I was like, it makes sense, because Your other school was a damn nightmare. So, pretty cool. And, of course, Thunderbolts, #1, Doom Strikes. So this should have been more interesting, right? But I just found it to be boring. And when I give you the review, it's going to sound more exciting than it actually was. There was just so much dead space in between everything happening in this. I just kind of lost interest midway through it. But basically, Bucky has got a problem with Doom in charge. Tries to backstab him while Doom is trying to recruit him for a secret police, because everybody loves a good secret police. Anyway, so he backstabs him, finds out that there's nukes up in space, and he thought they were being stored there, but come to find out they were actually just getting ready to launch in case Doom needed them. Why get rid of a good weapon, right? And he rides one back down to Earth. A couple of characters that I do not recognize as Thunderbolts were in this, so I'm not really up to speed on my Thunderbolts action in comics. So I don't know. It was just long, just having to explain every detail. Panels of characters just explaining every detail. A couple of panels of action, and they do it again. And I was just like, this is not fun. I don't find this enjoyable. It should be, right? Nukes, writing them. Yeah, but no. Weapon X-Men #1. Kind of the same concept. A lot more action in this. I did enjoy this quite a bit. We get Wolverine, Deadpool, Kane, and other X-Men characters. And, of course, Doom's got a problem with them as well. They're going to battle it out. Everything's going to be kind of generic in these first issues because they're just hey, we got a problem. Oh, yeah, well, we're going to fix your problem. Aha, no, you're not, because I'm Doom. It's pretty much how they're pretty much working these right now. So, stand by for more reviews on them, maybe. G.I. Joe #4. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of the G.I. Joe Energon universe, both Transformers and G.I. Joes. We're talking about this Energon energy and what it can be used for besides powering the Transformers. Cobra's using it for different stuff. They got their laser rifles up and running. But in this particular issue, they recapture the Brainwave machine. I always love these cheesy-ass names. And the doctor who invented it. And, well, Cobra Commander wants to make it a bomb. And in the radius of the explosion of the bomb, what it will do is take over people's minds. Kind of convince them to be loyal to Cobra. Basically making soldiers by mind-swiping people. I like that. Right? But the Joes also get captured. And, of course, they need a guinea pig to see if this thing works, so why not the Joes? But, aha! Duke's got a plan. So, we'll find out what that plan is in the next issue. But I like this because the concept of the laser rifles and the 80s cartoons and all that, it was like, you couldn't really relate with it. It might as well have been magic wands, right? But now that we're attaching it to something that we know in lore of the Transformers and that what powers them and how they function. Not saying it makes sense, but at least there's a cool connection there that we can kind of tag it onto. And I think that's really smart of the writers to do this. I've been enjoying the series nonstop. I'm just waiting for the big meetup because we know it's going to happen. Another Transformer and G.I. Joe miniseries, long-running issue. I don't care. I'm on board for it. I'm ready. And last, we got Epitaphs of the Abyss. Not much to review here. I've noticed that when I go back and watch these videos, it's kind of the same thing, right? 3 solid horror stories in it, very much in Creepshow fashion. You get what you ask for. The lesson there being, greed is kind of like when you ask for things you really don't need or you try to get one up on somebody, it always comes back and bites you in the ass. It's kind of the 3 stories in here. I am enjoying it. Some of the artwork's a little hinky in this one, but for the most part, I'll keep picking them up. They're solid reads. That's all we talk about here. It's just the reads. So that's my comic book haul and review for this week. Definitely let me know what you picked up. I know I missed the Herculoids, and I'm mad about that. Somebody told me it was out. By the time I got to my comic book shop, I didn't see it there, and I didn't think to ask before I left. So if you know the Herculoids came out, somebody let me know. I know I saw it on the Frock stuff, but I don't know. So, yeah, that's it. I got to go shovel snow now. If it ain't grass cutting, it's snow shoveling, I guess. All right, Evil Lair Projects and Builds. The video is done. Well, the filming of the video is done. I'm editing it now as quickly as I can. I think this one's going to be a big surprise. So at the end of the month here, kind of, if you don't mind, going over and checking it out. I made a metal eating death machine. That should be enough to entice you to at least check out a thumbnail once it's up. So I'll catch y'all next week. Bye.